Welcome to this powerful journey of transformation. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects everyone at some point in their life: suffering. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, suffering is a universal experience. It comes in many forms: physical pain, emotional distress, mental challenges, spiritual crises. But what unites all forms of suffering is its ability to break us down, only to offer the opportunity to rise above. Suffering is not the end. In fact, it is the beginning of a new chapter in your life, a chapter that reveals your true strength, resilience, and capacity for growth. You have the power within you to not just survive suffering, but to use it as fuel for personal transformation. This video is about showing you exactly how to turn your pain into progress, your struggles into stepping stones, and your setbacks into a setup for a great comeback. This is not just about enduring hardship, this is about thriving despite it. By the end of this video, you'll understand the mindset, tools, and practices needed to rise above suffering and find peace, purpose, and power within yourself. Firstly, the nature of suffering. To rise above suffering, we must first understand what suffering really is. Suffering, in its simplest form, is the gap between our expectations and reality. It occurs when what we desire, expect, or feel entitled to is not aligned with what is happening in the present moment. This gap can cause frustration, anxiety, depression, and anger. But here's the truth. Suffering is a part of life. No one is immune to it. From the wealthiest, most successful people to those who are just starting their journey, everyone faces challenges. However, the way we react to suffering defines who we are. Suffering is inevitable. It is part of the human condition. It manifests in different forms: emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. While you can't always control your circumstances, you can control your reaction to them. Embrace suffering as a tool for growth rather than a punishment. When we resist suffering, it intensifies. The key to overcoming suffering begins with acceptance. This doesn't mean resignation, but rather acknowledging that pain is real and it is part of the process. Once you accept it, you strip suffering of its power to control you. The role of perception in suffering. The way you perceive your suffering determines how long it lasts. Mindset is everything. Two people can experience the same situation. One may be crushed by it, while the other uses it as fuel to rise. The first step in overcoming suffering is changing your perspective. Rather than seeing it as an obstacle, see it as a stepping stone. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" Every experience, no matter how painful, holds a lesson, a gift, or an opportunity for growth. Secondly, finding meaning in suffering. One of the most profound ways to deal with suffering is to find meaning in it. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and renowned psychiatrist, once said, "In some ways, suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning. When we find purpose in our pain, it transforms from a destructive force into a source of strength." Suffering without purpose can feel overwhelming, but when you find meaning, you gain strength. Life is not about avoiding suffering, but about using it to discover your deeper purpose. Look at every painful experience as a lesson that brings you closer to understanding yourself and your true potential. How do you find meaning in suffering? The answer lies in reframing your narrative. Instead of being the victim of your circumstances, you become the hero of your story. This is your journey, and every trial you face is an essential part of your transformation. Steps to finding meaning. Reflection. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Reflection helps you gain clarity on the deeper lessons your suffering is teaching you. Purpose. Use your suffering to fuel a greater purpose. Whether it's helping others who are going through the same thing or using your pain to create something meaningful, purpose transforms suffering into power. Resilience. Build resilience by accepting that pain is a part of life, but doesn't have to define you. Every time you rise above suffering, you grow stronger. Finding meaning doesn't always happen overnight, but with practice, you'll learn to see pain as a catalyst for personal growth. Pain is inevitable. Growth is optional. Third, mindset shift. From victim to victor. Your mindset is the single most important factor in overcoming suffering. If you believe you are a victim of your circumstances, you will continue to suffer. But if you shift your mindset to see yourself as a victor, you'll not only rise above your challenges, but thrive because of them. Suffering thrives in a victim mentality. When you feel powerless, you lose control over your life. A victor mentality shifts the focus from external circumstances to internal strength. It empowers you to take action, no matter how small. Your circumstances don't define you, how you respond to them does. Steps to shift your mindset. Self-awareness. Recognize when you're slipping into a victim mentality. Catch yourself when you start blaming others or external factors for your suffering. Ownership. Take full responsibility for your life. Even if you're not responsible for what happens to you, you are responsible for how you respond. Focus on growth. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow?" Gratitude. Shift your focus from what you've lost to what you still have. Gratitude can transform your entire mindset. Victim versus victor mentality. Victim feels powerless, controlled by external circumstances. Victor seeks solutions, learns from suffering, grows through adversity. Once you shift your mindset from victim to victor, you gain control over your life. You stop allowing suffering to define you and start using it to fuel your growth. Fourth, transforming pain into power. Pain has the potential to be one of the most transformative forces in life. If you let it, it can either break you down or build you up. The key to transforming pain into power lies in your willingness to use it as a tool for growth. Pain is not something to be avoided, but embraced as a part of life. It is through pain that we discover our true strength. Transforming pain into power requires an active decision. You must choose to rise above your pain and use it as fuel for personal development. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and influencers have all experienced tremendous pain. What separates them from others is their ability to use their suffering to grow stronger and help others. Steps to transform pain. Acceptance. Acknowledge that pain is a natural part of life. Don't resist it. Embrace it. Reflection. Reflect on how your pain has shaped you. What lessons has it taught you? How has it made you stronger? Action. Use your pain to fuel action. Whether it's creating something meaningful, helping others who are suffering, or pursuing a higher purpose, turn your pain into power. Service. One of the most powerful ways to transform pain is by helping others who are going through similar struggles. When you use your experience to uplift others, you turn suffering into strength. Turning pain into power is not about ignoring or suppressing it. It's about recognizing its value and using it as a catalyst for personal transformation. Fifth, the power of resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. It is the cornerstone of rising above suffering. The more resilient you are, the more equipped you are to handle life's challenges without being broken by them. Resilience is not something you're born with. It is something you can develop over time. Resilient people see setbacks as temporary and surmountable, rather than as a reflection of their worth or ability. Resilience is built through facing challenges head-on and learning from them. Building resilience, adaptability. Resilient people are adaptable. They understand that life is constantly changing, and they adjust their approach accordingly. Positive mindset. Maintaining a positive mindset, even in the face of adversity, is crucial to building resilience. Support systems. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who lift you up and encourage you to keep going. Self-care. Taking care of your mental, physical, and emotional well-being strengthens your ability to face challenges with grace and strength. Resilience is not about avoiding suffering, but about becoming stronger because of it. When you develop resilience, you turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into setups for success. Sixth, letting go of attachment. A significant source of suffering stems from our attachments, whether to people, outcomes, material possessions, or even identities. Learning to let go of unhealthy attachments is a critical part of rising above suffering. Attachment is a natural human tendency, but it often leads to suffering when we cling too tightly to things we cannot control. Letting go is not about giving up, but about releasing the need to control outcomes and accepting life as it unfolds. Freedom from attachment allows you to experience life with more peace and less resistance. Steps to let go. Identify attachments. Reflect on what you're attached to that might be causing suffering. Is it a specific outcome, a relationship, material success, approval from others? Acceptance. Accept that not everything is within your control. The more you try to control things, the more you will suffer. Release. Practice letting go by focusing on what you can control, your actions and mindset, and releasing your grip on things beyond your control. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean not caring. It means freeing yourself from the chains of dependency on external circumstances for your inner peace. Seventh, spiritual awakening through suffering. Suffering often leads to a deeper spiritual awakening. It can be the catalyst that pushes you to seek a higher purpose, a deeper connection to yourself, and a greater understanding of life. Suffering can be a gateway to spiritual growth. It forces you to confront your ego and connect with your true self. A spiritual awakening is not about escaping suffering, but about understanding its deeper meaning and learning to transcend it. When you experience spiritual growth, you gain a sense of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. The path to spiritual awakening. Mindfulness. Practice mindfulness to stay present and grounded even in the midst of suffering. Self-reflection. Take time to reflect on the lessons suffering is teaching you. Ask yourself, what is this experience revealing about my true self? Connection. Strengthen your connection to something greater than yourself, whether it's a higher power, the universe, or your own inner wisdom. Spiritual awakening through suffering is about transcending the ego and realizing that you are more than your pain. You are part of something greater, and your suffering is not in vain. Eighth, rising above and living a life of purpose. The ultimate goal of dealing with suffering is not just to survive it, but to rise above it and live a life of purpose. When you rise above suffering, you unlock your full potential and live a life that is aligned with your true purpose. Rising above suffering means you are no longer defined by your pain, but by your growth. Living a life of purpose brings fulfillment and meaning to your life, regardless of the challenges you face. When you live a life of purpose, you inspire others to rise above their own suffering and step into their greatness. Steps to live a purposeful life. Clarify your purpose. Reflect on what drives you. What do you feel passionate about? What impact do you want to make in the world? Take action. Purpose. Without action is meaningless. Take small steps every day to live in alignment with your purpose. Inspire others. Use your journey of rising above suffering to inspire others to do the same. Your story has the power to change lives. When you rise above suffering, you become a beacon of hope for others. You show the world that no matter how difficult life gets, there is always a way to overcome. You are stronger than your suffering. Suffering is an inevitable part of life, but it doesn't have to define you. You have the power within you to rise above any challenge, any pain, and any hardship. By embracing suffering as a tool for growth, finding meaning in your pain, and developing resilience, you can transform your life. Remember, you are stronger than your suffering. Your pain is temporary, but the strength, wisdom, and resilience you gain from overcoming it will last a lifetime. Let your suffering be the fire that forges you into the best version of yourself. This is your time to rise. This is your time to take control of your life and live with purpose. You have the power to not only survive suffering, but to thrive because of it. So, stand tall, keep going. And remember, your greatest comeback is on the other side of your greatest challenge. Thank you for watching this powerful journey of transformation. If this video resonated with you, subscribe and hit the notification bell, like, comments, share it with someone who might need to hear this message today. Let's rise together.
Thank you and have a wonderful life.